Hello, my name is Jessica Lynn Johnson, and I am the founder and CEO of Soaring Solo. And Soaring Solo is a company dedicated to the direction and development of one-person plays. So welcome to today's strategy session. Today we're going to be talking about why you should never do a solo show solo. And I say that because there are some repercussions that can happen when we try to go on the solo journey alone. So today I'm going to kind of break down what some of those repercussions are and the benefits of not going on the solo show journey by yourself. The first repercussion that can occur if you try to do the solo show journey by yourself is that you're going to either not finish or you're going to not start the process. We all need accountability. We need accountability to begin and to finish. So what does accountability look like? Accountability looks like many different things. It might mean you just have a writing accountability partner, somebody that you check in with who is making sure you do what you say you're going to do and you're offering the same thing to them. And it's even better if it's also a solo artist who really gets what it is you're going through. That can be a really strong way to have accountability. Accountability can also look like hiring a writing coach, a director, a dramaturg, a developer, someone to be with you professionally on your journey so that they're giving you homework. You're paying them to show up and you're going to show up, so you have the stake in the ground of your time and your finances. You're also getting that professional feedback and that professional pressure to make sure you really show up for each and every part of this journey. It might also look like joining a class specifically for solo theater development or a writer's group that is for creating a one-person play. And you'll notice I'm not just saying a random writer's group, but one that is specifically geared toward writing a solo show because it really is a unique process and it is a unique genre. So you want to surround yourself with people who also have that end game in mind, and even better if they're educated about it. And for many of us, if we have that accountability, that means we're putting dates on the calendar. It means we're actually going to show up for stuff because we're carving out the time, and that really makes a really big difference. Otherwise, it just stays nebulous. It stays this dream that we talk about, but we never start it or we never finish it because we don't have accountability. The next repercussion you want to try to avoid is not seeing your blind spots, So that's why we need other eyes on our work, because we won't see our blind spots. We won't see the things that are boring, that the audience is not interested in, but we think is really exciting, but nobody else does. Or we won't see the things that are really exciting and are really interesting, but we find it boring because it's just our life. It's like wallpaper that we walk past every day, and we don't see how special it is. I remember when I was creating my second solo show, Z, it had a lot to do with fundamentalism and a specific type of fundamentalism I had grown up with in the school system and church system I was a part of in my formative years. And the writers group that I was in, which was a solo theater specific writers group, nobody else was from that particular sect of religion, and so they didn't know a lot of the terminology I was using. They needed things unpacked and to better understand it. So that was really useful for me to discover what my blind spots were and how to unpack it in an entertaining way. So that's what I mean by discovering our blind spots. The next repercussion you might face is burnout. So when we're trying to do everything by ourselves, it's inevitable that we're going to burn out. And we're also not good at every single thing. I mean, we all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. So by trying to do everything ourselves, even the things that we're not particularly skilled at, we're going to burn out faster. By the time it is time to do our solo show, we're not going to have the energy to do it well. And it's probably going to fall really flat, or we're not going to enjoy it because we're so at the end of ourselves that the whole experience, we just want it to be over with. You really want to enjoy this. It's a really special adventure that you're going on. So really try to practice delegation. And delegation can come in many forms. Maybe you trade skills with different people in your community and you offer them something and they offer you something. Maybe you do budget for yourself to be able to hire a team. You want to really have people in your corner who are part of your team that you can delegate responsibilities to so that you can really focus on wearing your artist hat and your performer's hat and not trying to play every single role. I would say with my first solo show, Oblivious to Everyone, I did work a little bit with a director, but mostly at first, this wasn't always the case. I did the show for 13 years, so it changed. But initially, I did try to do everything by myself. And I was in my early 20s, so I had a lot more energy for that than I would now. But I found that it was so much more helpful when I hired a publicist, when I worked with producers, when I did work with a director. It really lightened my load and allowed me to focus on giving an amazing performance and to write a script that I was really proud of. So just make sure that you are delegating wherever possible so that you do not burn out. The next repercussion is that you will give up. Because if we don't have community, if we don't have a tribe, if we don't have other solo artists in our corner or people who understand what it is we're going through, we're going to give up. We're not going to have faith in our talents. We're not going to have that encouragement when we most need it. So it's really important to have a community around you so that you don't give up. So that when you have those hard rehearsals, you can call someone and say, this was really tough on me. Can you just give me some words of encouragement? Can you remind me why I was even doing this in the first place? So making sure you don't give up because you have people who are supporting you. And the final repercussion of trying to go on the solo journey alone is that you will have no ticket sales. You will not have any ticket sales. Well, maybe your mom will tune in and your cat or something like that. But other than that, your ticket sales might be really bleak if you've just stayed in your creative cave by yourself for 6 months to a year and you haven't vulnerably shared with people along the way about what this experience was like, if you haven't been going to see other people's works of art and supporting them in their journey, if you don't have a team, if you don't have a community, if you're just staying solely focused on yourself during that time period and you're not investing in growing your community and also just taking care of yourself with some balance. We all need balance. We can't always be in work mode. We also need to play. The point is, don't isolate during the process of creating your solo show or when it comes time to have butts in seats. Who's going to be there? If you're not there for others, how are they going to show up for you? So those are some repercussions that can happen when we try to go on the solo journey alone. I hope you've learned something from this and that you will give yourself the benefit of having an entire team, a community, a tribe, a group of people who will support you on your solo journey so that you do not have to go it alone. And if you have any further questions for me, feel free to email me at soaringsoloartist@gmail.com. And you can always visit my website at soaringSoloStudios.com. Thanks so much. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new videos come out. And like this video if it was helpful for you. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.